Finally. I mean, it took long enough. It took way too long. It's what, February 19th, and it took this long for one of the biggest free agents in like since A-Rod, biggest infielder free agent since A-Rod has signed a contract. Like, whoa, it it took far too long. 10 years, $300 million. This should be a really it looks like a large contract, but if the Padres spend properly, unlike what the Rangers did with A-Rod, then they should be fine to become a team that could be a force. And they also have a lot of prospects. Some of them have started to flame out a bit, but there are still some others that have not come up yet. So it should work out well for the Padres. I mean, $30 million a year for a player of this caliber, you can win. The Dodgers have showed that. It's just about spending the money properly. And for a market like San Diego, it's a really nice city. It's probably the only city in SoCal that I like, but it's one where Manny Machado is going to be the face. He's going to be the face of the Padres for probably the next 10 years, unless he gets traded in between the contract. But for right now, it's looking like he's going to be the face of their team and the piece that they can build around. The Padres have a lot of question marks and uncertainty with their players, and they've brought in some sort of depth pieces, like they brought in Ian Kinsler. Garrett Richards is going to be out for the season, and in general, there's still not really that much on this roster, but he does provide more protection for guys like Hosmer and Myers, and he provides some sort of, I guess, certainty in terms of star talent, because Will Myers, Eric Hosmer haven't really lived up to their contracts as much, but they do show that they can be pieces that are useful if they have protection. At least that's what it seems like to me. Over the past couple of years, the Padres have been trying to build off of, or I guess recover from, that all-in push in 2015 where they were one of the bigger failed super teams in MLB history. Well, I mean, that's a tall statement, but they were a failed super team, and, well, now they're just sort of recovering from that. They spent on Eric Hosmer last year, as aforementioned, and now they're bringing in a really good talent like Manny Machado. They have a lot of prospects that are coming up, and it looks like they're going to be pieces that they're going to continue to develop. And at the same time, they have a rotation that is still not looking too good. So that's really what they're going to be looking for, it looks like, at least in the future, developing their pitching prospects or bringing in some more starters. If they reel in another starter that is at least a temporary band-aid, I think they can be okay. But for right now, it just looks like they're going to be a 70-win team. And of course, like I said in my previous video, I'm not going to be counting this in my predictions. It'll be for my 2.0 predictions. So when I go into 30 teams in 30 days, I'm not really going to be talking about the Padres, but I think I had their surface win rate at about, looks like, yeah, about mid-60s in wins. I think they'll be like a low 70s win team now, but still, I don't think they're going to be competing anytime soon. Just piece to build around. Just, don't spend a ton of money on a pitcher that is pretty bad, like the Rangers did with Chan-Ho Park. Word of advice, don't mention Chan-Ho Park unless you're trying to push some buttons to Ranger fans. But spending properly. When you have a $30 million player, you have to spend properly, because if you don't spend properly, you are going to fail. And he will have to be traded to another team, at least in the middle of his contract. Another big market team will probably take on his contract and probably find a way to be a force. So please build around properly. Please do not ruin this. Do not screw this up, Padres, because this is the one team outside of the A's, because, they're my favorite team. The A's are my favorite team, but the Padres are the one team outside of them in California that I don't mind, because don't like, well, hate the Angels, and don't like the Dodgers. Not too fond of the Giants either. But with the Padres, they're okay. I mean, like I said, San Diego, one place in SoCal that I actually like. So please do not ruin this, Padres.